Remember, all Doom players are idiots. He sees Roadhog, he hits Roadhog. He doesn't think about, oh, maybe his team's going to help Roadhog and let's go kill him. But you are in.
Did you?
Sorry, go. What's up?
Did you see someone on one of our YouTube videos take offense to that?
Oh yeah, just because it hurts you doesn't mean it isn't true, buddy. But yeah,
sorry, commenter.
Sorry, commenter. All right. Okay, so going into this review, I am pivoting things a little bit. We talked about it in the sense of not in relation of how you play to the people around you, but how you play in relation to yourself. And that sounds a little weird, but
not to me.
Yeah, we'll specify it more later. I have a list of things that I have from our last few sessions that I'm going to be reviewing, but mostly I am going to be a little harsh. I'm going to be encouraging a lot more aggressive and proactive plays, which might require a lot of strong playmaking potential. And even if you fuck it up a bunch of times, you can't get there if you don't try. Less of, not no more, but less of your teammate did X, so now you have to do Y. Instead, I'm going to say you should do something, you should do X, and you're going to force them to do Y. If you're in a position to make something happen, I'm going to be encouraging you to make something happen. Support means reacting to the situation often, but that doesn't mean you can't do anything yourself. And just because, a fight or a situation is probably lost or doesn't look great, doesn't stop you from doing better. There are more winnable fights than you think you have when you make your best plays. And if you've still lost that fight, remember that you have done better. Even if you have lost that fight, you have done better. And there's no reason not to do better. And we're here for, we're here for a growth period. I'm going to be suggesting some things that are sometimes hard to pull off or difficult to act on. That's okay. Planting seeds. We've already, if you are a garden and we have planted many seeds and I have seen some of them sprout and some of them have stayed under for a little while and that's okay. But some of them have started to sprout and grow and that's awesome. Every VOD that I've watched with you in that movement workshop we did together, I've seen stuff that I say, oh, we wouldn't have done that last time. And that's really nice. That's my opening spiel out of the way, my regular opening thing. Any questions before we get going?
Nope.
Okay. Well, yeah, first question. I'm asking you this every time. What's your job in this team comp?
Whoa. Where's my Discord? My Discord just got out. Oh, that's nice. To heal my front line.
Heal your front line? How much damage do you think you're going to be doing on BAP?
I can probably do a little more than usual since we have Ana as well.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna say you're right mostly. Something that I would look for if I were you is if you see your Kree, obviously this is a VOD in the past, I can't, that's not how, I'm not a wizard. Be pretty cool if I was though. If you see this guy, this Deej guy, trying to do stuff, and your Ana is healing your front line, you can make that a 2-man rotation, and you can do stuff together. That's not optimal. Like, theoretically, if you were going to do this kind of thing, you'd want to be on Brig or something, but it's still doable. That's still a play you can make and a thing you can do. And also, you might be, when you're not trying to do things with your DPS, which is maybe not optimal, you are maybe going to be putting a little more heals into your tanks and focusing a little bit less on your DPS. Your Ana, because of the fact that she's infinite range, hit scan, she's going to be a lot better at keeping up your DPS when they're far away. Your tank line is going to be grouped up to some extent, and you'll be able to help them a lot more easily. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool.
You don't know anything about him.
Cool. We're just going to let this roll out for a second.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
All better.
Defend objective A.
Do you turn down the sound on this?
Do you want me to?
Did you? I don't hear any sound coming from it.
Oh, that might be because I'm sharing my Discord screen as opposed to sharing the game. But I can't show you my crosshair for sharing the game.
I mean, it's okay. I don't need it. It's just if you want to talk about sound cues or something like that.
I actually do talk about sound cues a little bit, but for the most part, it's not really, a huge deal. I actually, because I say you do a good job with some sound cues. I'm a, yeah, that's really annoying. That's whatever. Yeah, okay, cool. So just like where you're aiming and everything, if this was old you would have been aiming like 3-4 inches down. But now you're aiming like, you were aiming at the floor, now you're aiming at the knees. This is improvement.
It's improvement.
You're aiming at their knees. I want you to be aiming at their chests. I want you to be when you are going for right click heals, I want you to be aiming at your team's like chest, pretty much. I want you to be like going for full directs. Not this half and half shit where maybe it'll hit the ground or maybe it'll hit their feet. No, I want you to be aiming at the person. You're doing better. I want even better. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. We're 15 seconds in. You can now see their comp.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to do? Yeah, what are you trying to do to them?
Well, I want them dead. Well, they're running a McCree, which I've already seen and shot at
Yeah.
the high ground. And I see the Widow trail. So I know her positioning. So I know they're running. I need to stay out of the sight lines of both of them if I can, and they're at crossfire right now.
Yeah.
And then I know that they have a ball, which will probably just come in and try to boop us forward into their comp, or just pretty much just run us amok.
Well, what are you saving lamp for?
Saving lamp for, I mean, eventually high noon, or if I guess with one of my teammates go down. Flux as well.
Yep, noon, Flux, and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or I mean, whoever's getting really dove by ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Now that you see their own wrecking ball, I hate saying this after I talked about playing in relation to yourself, not in relation to your teammates, but I feel like you could be doing a lot more like more gremlin stuff with like maybe flanking with your crate if you trust your Ana to hit the sleep dart on the ball. But if you don't trust your Ana to hit the sleep dart on the ball, I wouldn't if I were you. But if you do, you can keep doing aggressive shit. That being said, I wouldn't trust her. A good Ana will hit that sleep on a wrecking ball who's slamming every single time. Every single time. But everyone be nice does not sound like a particularly strong Ana player in my opinion. So just be wary of that. If that's if that's something you think you can do it. But if it's not, keep healing your back line and make sure the wrecking ball doesn't kill your Ana. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first example of a thing, which could have gone poorly. Look at the top right. You see how low your Ryan's health is?
Mm-hmm.
That's like less than 25. When it comes to balancing your heals and your damage, that's not just at the same place. You should be able to comfortably flick back and this will take a while, but you should be able to comfortably flick back and forth in the time that it takes for your, with your weapon's actual rate of fire. And maybe it'll take a little longer. It's, you can't be a fucking robot, but you should have been able, I think, to deal damage to that wrecking ball and then snap over and heal your Rhine, and then go back to dealing damage to that wrecking ball in one back and forth motion. Because right now, you and just on the note of like in the vein of I think you should be dead, I think you should have lost this fight. I think your Rhine should be dead.
Okay.
So yeah, this is just you're I see you doing better with the rhythm of like shoot heal. But this is where I'm saying, remember, it's not just at the same spot. It's not just in the same area. You should get to a point where you can comfortably do it like on different sides of your screen. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's his knees. You're shooting at his knees. Did you see what almost just killed you there?
No.
Okay, we're gonna watch that again.
I'm gonna assume it's a widow shot, but yep.
You should be dead.
Well,
Actually,
didn't it hit the Reinhardt?
I don't. Maybe. But all I'm saying is, and even for a good widow player.
Oh, whoa, okay. I now I see her. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, you can't see my mouse. But even for a good widow player, right? This would be a crazy shot to hit. But even you just like you couldn't really hear the hook because there was a lot of stuff going on here. But if you see something move in your peripheral vision, right? Not even like, oh, I look, I process there's a widow, and I do something about it. Just in your peripheral vision, just duck. Just because the worst thing that happens is you duck and there's nothing.
Right.
It's like,
so the play.
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, go. I was just gonna make a weird metaphor. Go.
So the play here is to duck when I rotate like this.
It's specifically just if you see something out of your peripheral vision, and this is that head on a swivel thing, like where you do a better job of you're having better situational awareness as we go, but this is just like another level of it, or another, I guess, layer to it. If you just see something out of your peripheral vision, doesn't matter if it's a chair, getting rolled across the middle of Hollywood A point by a random bullet, right? I just want you to duck. I just want you to make sure you don't die, because this widow right here probably should have killed somebody on your team. There's a chance that could have been you. This is that like really nitpicky stuff of if you see something move in your peripheral vision like this, just avoid it. Just like duck. Make sure you're harder to hit for that 10th of a second they're there.
Okay.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What was that guy doing? Why did your Kree just do that? I don't even blame you for losing this fight. Your Kree just dies. That being said, oh no, wait, the widow also dies. I was thinking like your Ana gets glocked next to you, right? Like 2 feet away from you, and you just like don't really notice, but the widow also dies, so it could have gone better, it could have gone worse, but this is just like a weird situation, seeing as you're like already down a bunch of people, and it's weird. That being said, this is actually the second example of it in which you do it backwards. So we're gonna go back a little bit and talk about how you could have lived here. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you're Koreans, right? And you, first of all, you should have 2-tapped that curry. Just be an aimbot. Okay, so you get booped, but
shoot heads.
Yeah, just click heads. I mean, so actually, part of like some of the plays that'll be encouraging will be like be more aggressive. Actually, like honestly, noticing after the enemy widow died, I honestly think you should have just pushed up and killed that McCree. Like, if you hit those shots, you could do it. But you're in this situation now, so you are here. This is dangerous, right? This is a dangerous place just because of the fact there's a wrecking ball here, right? This is a dangerous situation. How do you think you get out of this alive?
Well, I know my shift's on cooldown. I have my lamp. Run towards my team?
Well, your Ana's dead. So there's not really much your team can do to help you here. And your Zarya, I guess, probably doesn't have bubble. We could check and see if she does, but like, her bubble's for her Ryan, pretty much.
Yeah. Is there a ledge? There's no ledge there, right? That I could jump up to?
No, not really.
No. I'm stumped then.
Okay.
Tell me. Oh, there's a mega there.
There's a mega health pack here. You drop a lamp here, and you stay here. You have maybe a third. You just based on how much health you have, right? You have maybe half a second before you're dead. You can go far in half a second. I think you could have lived here by, this is just like, know your character limits and know where you're playing, not just in the sense of where can you get peeked, but where is safe. I think maybe you lamp in this doorway. As you are walking to the doorway, you reach this doorway at like 30 health, you get back up to 40, and then you can probably walk to the south back. I don't think it's 100%.
Okay.
But I think there's a good chance you live here if you make that kind of play. Because right here, you say, I'm going to use Lamp and I'm going to challenge this Wrecking Ball. I'm going to out-damage this Wrecking Ball. Just mathematically, you can't. Like, he is going to, at full health with shields, he's going to stay alive longer than your Lamp is. And he's going to kill you every time. But I think if you made this play and you lived here, I think your front line's still dead, but it's better. It's a better situation as opposed to you dying here.
Mm-hmm.
Try to stay cognizant of not only the limits of the enemy team and how we talked about that when we were on Dorado and like where you can get pushed from and their cooldowns and everything, but specifically where it like your escape route pretty much. This is the first time I want to bring it up, and it comes up later again, but like that's not what I meant. But I want you to have an escape route in mind, and at all times. Just, if I get pushed here, where am I going? Where am I running? What am I doing? Because right now, you get pushed here, and you say, well, I'm here already, so I'm just going to stay here.
Okay.
Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Because the ball, he goes and picks up the Mega. He goes and takes the Mega. That's your Mega! Yeah, you die. It is what it is. Also, just on the note of hero choice, I probably could have brought this up earlier, but like, maybe like Lucio or Brig is better here. You're playing a lot of BAP, which is good because you want to learn the hero, and I've seen a lot of improvements. But like, you swap over to Lucio later, which I have some notes on. Just if that's no, it's fine. It's just if you wanted to do that, if you wanted to be like, oh, how am I going to counter the enemy team's push with the Wrecking Ball and stuff, like maybe probably like Brig or Lucio here. You guys are playing on or Bat Brig later, which is really good. So you're shooting at his knees. Okay. You have pretty much seen every member of the enemy team walking up here. You saw that Widow shoot. You saw that Kree. You saw that Ana healing. You saw that Sigma. Moira is Moira. You have not seen the Wrecking Ball. In the question of what's going to kill you and how's it going to do it here, this Wrecking Ball, treat him like a Doomfist. Treat him like a Reaper. If you can't see that Wrecking Ball, he's up to no good. He's doing something. Right now.
He's definitely up to no good.
He is up to something right now. And if this is dangerous. This is like images taken moments before disaster. Because I don't think your Widow dies here, but like could have. Yeah, if you can't see the Wrecking Ball, he's up to no good. He's going on that list, okay? If you don't know where he is, he's doing something bad. He's on that list. You didn't know where he was, and he did something bad.
My ultimate is ready. Get in position. You're fully healed.
No one can hide from my sight.
I honestly don't even... Sorry about the noise. But I honestly don't even blame you for your Ana dying here. By all laws of God or man, she should have just ducked behind the pillar and not gotten hit by that high noon. But remember that your shift is good burst healing. If you think this Zarya wants to push more aggressively, you can right-click and shift. It's good burst healing. There's nothing big about that. It's just like, if you want heal man faster, remember to use your abilities that heal man faster. No, I'll talk about that in a sec. I think you could have very easily won this fight for your team. Actually, no, it wouldn't have been easy. It wouldn't have been easy. We're gonna go back. It would not have been easy. I'm saying that now. It would not have been easy. This would have been very difficult. But I think you could have done it. So, I will pause when it comes time to it. Yeah, you're on as an idiot.
No one can hide from my sight.
Right here. If you are a monumental player, if you're making impact plays, you drop square and you 2-tap this Moira right now. If you want to make an impact play, you drop square and you 2-tap that Moira right now. Because what happens here is you react. You say, oh, our Rhine's getting pushed back, and oh, our Zarya's pushing this way, and oh, there's stuff over here, I should be careful. But if you are an impact player, I don't know why I love that term, it's really funny to me. But if you are making plays, if you want proactive plays, you drop your square and you 2-tap that Moira right now. Unrealistic? Maybe. Necessary? Yes.
Okay, so that's... I'm going to write down 2 more times. I mean, the second time. Start clicking heads.
Yeah. It's start clicking heads, but like... I don't know if you've ever like played against a real hacker or a real aimbotter, but like, they're not smart. They walk around, and they have awful movement, and then, but they're aimbotters. So you can play around people who are hacking like that because they're stupid. They're just really stupid. Clicking heads 24/7, sure, that's cool, but like, you have an opportunity to make a difference here.
I mean, dropping the square is the easy part, right?
Yeah.
I make that decision to, but then you're talking about raw mechanical skills,
Yeah,
to actually complete the play, and so that's the, I can learn all this other stuff. This other part is more going and purposefully getting my aim better. So there's just a difference there,
Yeah.
and that's
you're right. You're right.
that's kind of. I'm not gonna say it's hard because all of this is hard, but that's gonna be, in the grand scheme of things, the one that's gonna hold me back.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're saying that's what it's gonna take for me to climb on Baptiste, then that's gonna be the part that's gonna hold me back the most.
So, actually, it's interesting you bring that up because that's pretty much what's next. But I don't think it is necessary, or I said necessary earlier, but that was for really dramatic effect. Realistically, I think that even if you do that, you probably lose this fight. Realistically, but by trying to go for that play, you like, how do I word this? By like trying to make that kind of play, that can make you a better player. Games are practice as much as they are things you want to win. And honestly, your BAP, square comes up every 2 seconds. So, that's my 2 cents. It's unrealistic, right? And honestly, I don't even think these are the kinds of plays you need to do to climb. There are plenty of scenarios later where I think you could have made a much bigger difference not making these kinds of plays. But if you want to be an impact player, if you want to be if you want to be the fucking Michael Jordan of Baptiste, right? You want to be an impact player, you do this stuff. Realistic? No. Probably won't happen. Honestly, you put me in this scenario and I probably won't make it happen. There's no reason not to try. I'm not saying throw your stuff out like an idiot. Like, this is a scenario where, like, you have an opportunity presented, right? Like, the Sigma's doing other stuff. Nobody's looking at you. And, like, I'm gonna keep saying this. It's unrealistic, but you have this tiny, tiny, tiny window of time, pun intended, to do something. You gotta jump on these moments. This is probably the most unrealistic example of it that we're gonna be going over so far, but this is the first example where you have a tiny window and I want you to jump on it.
Okay.
And like, it's ridiculous, right? Like, I'm not saying next time we do a VOD review, like, you need to hit all these shots, but like, go for it. Like, fucking, worst thing that happens is you miss your shots and you get squared up in the next minute. That's how BAP works.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't think that those are the necessary things you need to do in order to climb, but like, could be. If that's what you want to do, you can do it. Yeah, you guys are just like getting out. I got that lamp. You're covering your escape, but yeah, you're okay here. They extend a little much. Hey.
Why did I pause there?
Because you didn't know because you were making sure that you were seeing if holy words. You were seeing if there was anybody in the square for you to actually hit, and then you were like, oh no, there isn't. Honestly, fine. This is fine. I don't. Your teammate.
No, yeah. I was anticipating there to be people in the grav.
Yep, your teammate hits a 0-man grav. Not your fault. You went for it's like if you saw a fucking Hanzo dragging a 0-man grav. That Hanzo trusted the Zarya that there would be somebody in there when he did it. Like, honestly, I don't blame you for this. I think maybe you could have ducked around the corner for like a 13th of a second and said, oh, okay, there's nobody in that grav, and kept going. But like, the amount of times I've like lost a game because my teammate goes, do this, and then I just do it because my teammate said do this and it was wrong. I've lost a lot of games that way, but I don't see a mistake here. I see good habit building. This, however, is a mistake. That one miss has killed your Reinhardt. If you hit one more thing on him, I think he lives. Also, he was dead before he hit the ground, which looked really weird. But that might just be like a replay viewer bug. But I like remember to keep taking your time to like line up your shots before you hit them. It's like on the note of, we talked about like sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. Sometimes you're gonna, you know, miss an opportunity because you're taking some time to line up your shot before you hit it. But this is a shot you should have taken a little bit more time to line up, because you just kind of, like, I think I explained it a while ago. Like, it's like you were trying to aim with a muscle memory that doesn't exist. This was a muscle memory that doesn't exist, and you went for it anyways. You just kind of like threw your mouse up, and you were like, "Oh, I am expecting this to hit," and then you miss it, and you're like, "Oh shit!" And then you actually aim at him and try to get him. But yeah. I know you've been changing your sensitivity around a good bit, which is good, and I think that overall your aim has improved. But sometimes playing on a lower sense means you forget that you're not playing on a high sense. I know that sounds stupid, but like, you just sometimes you flick and you don't expect to go as, or you expect to be going further and then you just don't. And I think this is one of those scenarios. Yeah, and then your Rhine lives, and then maybe you win this fight, but your Widow's also dead, but that doesn't mean you can't play better. Just because the fight is probably over doesn't mean you could not have played it better. Ugh. You are aiming at the floor. You are aiming at their knees. You used to just be aiming at the floor. Now you're aiming like somewhere in between. I know I went over this before. I'm bringing it up again. Aim at their chests. You miss some heals, you miss some heals. But you're going to be way better at hitting those long-range, difficult-to-hit heals. I don't even know how that anti hits you. Did she, like, throw that? I don't even... Well, what's up with that? That was weird. Hey. You know what? That was an okay lamp. It's the same thing about like that window earlier. Like, sure, you could have made certain that there was nobody in danger, but you saw a threat. And honestly, I think you kind of realized that you were okay here from the mines, but you did it to save someone else. Like, you could have taken a second to assess the danger and say, oh, okay, well, we're probably fine because the mines are in a bad position, but I don't see a mistake with that. I saw you trying to do a good thing for your team, and I like that. It's the same advice about the window. If you want to be 100% certain that like you're using your cooldowns and ults effectively, take that like 10th of a second to assess the situation and say, okay, we're fine, or oh, we're not fine, and then use it or don't use it. But this was not a mistake. This was a good habit being built right there in front of our eyes.
Slow and good.
Slow and good. I love it.
All better.
60 seconds. I need healing.
This was that example of it. I'm sorry about the ticking noises, but if your Kree, like if this fight went longer, I think you probably could have gone on this flank with your Kree. Just like
He's going up to the high noon, right? Yeah.
yeah. And like I think that's sorry, go.
So for that specific instance, though, there's no one up there.
There's no one up
He's
there, and
going
it's
up to
fine.
the high noon. Okay.
But this is like, I guess, kind of what to be looking for to some regard. Like, if you see your DPS doing something and you think you can maybe help, go for it. It's not this exact scenario. It doesn't happen exactly here, but like,
Right.
it'll look like this. Okay. So you do a better job of playing around Widow. This is the first time I think that you do a kind of bad job.
Yeah, this is when she gets me, isn't it?
I don't actually think you die here. I don't remember.
I know I get tapped once.
Yeah.
Once this game.
So
I think this is it.
So like you know that their Widow's still alive if you're paying attention, which you are more than most. But so you know their Widow's still alive. I think she shot a shot already somewhere. But excuse me. You should be ready to like jiggle peek around this corner. You should be ready to not peek this at all. You should be ready to do you have lamp up actually? In like 4 seconds. You should be ready to like fully cross the point. Like there are a lot of stupid silly one-shot mechanics in this game. And just being cognizant of those is really important. And right here, it's like the Widow takes a shot at you and then you duck away. Whereas I think you should have just been proactively like, I know the Widow's probably going to try to look at me, so I'm going to go do something else. Ignoring this Moira, right? Ignoring you crossing left and then this Moira dropping on you because she's doing Moira things. I don't know. She's having fun. But yeah, proactively walk across the point knowing there's a Widow. Reactively, duck behind the corner. Is that cool? Does that kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just, Yeah. Yeah, she, like, takes that shot and nothing comes of it, but, like, it could have. I'm not even gonna say you should be dead, because I don't even think she was aiming at you, but, like, you could be dead. Your Rhine is in, dude. What is this? This is half of a good lamp. You want to know what would have made it a fully good lamp?
Oh, if it's behind the pillar.
It's behind the pillar. This was like fast and okay, but slow and good would have been over here. You did take a little longer to think about it. I feel like in the past we could have just seen you like yeet it out there and hope for the best, but like better.
Go look at Brian's point of view real quick. Wind it back. My thought process was, oh, he is about to die, and so I was throwing it on him to save it. But let's see.
Yeah. So he goes in. He gets slept. That's his fault.
Yeah. That's a no. Well, it did bring his health up, but I don't know. I probably could have been better.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you would have been okay, because if we can probably like go back to the exact frame that it happens, but like we can watch this really quick. Okay, well, but I can't really get to the exact frame, but like his health is at 95 and it's no longer purple. I think you could have healed him up and kept him up. That being said, you wanted to save your teammate, and so you did that, and that's good. You wanted to keep your teammate alive, and so you decided, I'm going to use my ability to keep my teammate alive. That's good. I like that. I just think you could have done it better. Honestly, I don't even disagree with the lamp, because they nano him here. So maybe, like, the lamp would die to cleave, but still, it's good to throw it out there. Like, good? Or fine? But good would be here. Cool?
Yep. Cool.
That being said, your run should have stopped pushing the second he got antied. Like, watching him just press W after getting antied, like, kind of hurt me. But people just push. It's kind of weird. They are on a different hero. They are currently playing Winston. This is something you should be ready for. This is the first time no, wait, you saw him last fight. But, like, this is the first time where you see a Winston that is, like, actually could be dangerous to you. Takes you a second to respond. That's fine. You're working on it. You get so tunneled on shooting the Winston, you forget that there's a Widowmaker. You can live, like, unlike maybe Wrecking Ball, you can live from the Winston for a second, right? You can, you know, you can heal yourself, you can lamp yourself, that's fine. You're not going to get burned down as quickly. So, there's more than one threat that can approach you at a time. What's going to kill you and where's it going to kill you from? Sometimes that's very far away. And it's not just like, oh, the Winston was body blocking. It's not just where are you getting shot from, it's where can you get shot from. This is an angle. This is an angle. Hell, if they're a real gamer, this is an angle. If they do this kind of stuff. It's just, reminder, not what is shooting at me, it's where could I be shot from. Cool. Cool. That being said, you do a better job of playing around the Widow throughout this VOD. Like, I really like working with you because I see consistent improvement and I like that a lot.
It's high time. That could have gone better. My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, I think they're dead pretty much regardless, so it's whatever.
They all look like you needed some healing.
You get back pretty safe, that's fine. Good job not dying here. Good job not staying there and dying, actually. Like, sometimes it's hard to recognize when you do something well because nothing's going wrong. Nothing went wrong there. Good job.
Group up with me.
This guy's so... what is it? You get the weirdest main tank players, dude. You get, like, the most brainlet main tank players. This dude waits until he's getting shot in the head to put up his shield. It's really funny to me.
I'm telling you, it's the ranked experience right now.
Keep your eyes. Let them up.
Good square. No, this was
bad getting there.
This is good. This is good.
Okay.
If he wasn't across the map. You were already up one, right? You've been up one for a second. That's sometimes hard to track because this guy died a while ago, right? This guy died like fucking 15 seconds ago. But he walks slow. You're still up one. If he was over here, good square. He was not. Not good square. Remember that, like, oh no, that was with someone else. But, you, like, the way you need to play proactively and respond to threats changes depending upon, like, what's actually happening and who's alive and who's dead and what cooldowns are used. This guy's still coming back. I don't think this was a very great square because it was like a little unnecessary.
Wouldn't I want to use the square in situations like this to keep the tempo going?
What's going to slow you down? You're all here. They don't really have like any shields. You're all here. There's nothing to slow you down in the first place.
Okay.
And like, you already have control. Like, if they were holding aggressively on cart, I could agree with this, right? But you already have control of this area. Their Widow's ducking back. Their On is ready to duck back. These guys are, like, not in a great position, but, like, you already have control of this whole sightline, pretty much. You're just kind of, like, doubling down on it. Which is fine sometimes, but right here it feels kind of unnecessary to me.
Okay.
That being said, that's not even what I wanted to talk about in this moment. Cool. Winston, you don't track the Winston, that's bad. But this loses you the fight, I believe. Actually, no, I think you guys win this fight and you swap to Lucio. But you waking up that Winston like that, suboptimal play. Your Honest slept him, your Widow could come over and headshot him, because now you are dead. Congratulations, you have given yourself one ticket to hell. This was you just like, it's hard. People do it, and like people have done it in my contenders matches where you sleep something and you like say you're sleeping it and people wake it up. It happens all the time. But you don't want to be the guy to wake up sleeps, because then you look like an asshole. So yeah. That being said, this you're in the situation already. Ignoring all that other stuff, you can live here, and you don't. We're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Get in here.
What do you think your mistake was there?
Well, he knocked me into the Mega.
He did.
Not trying to go out the door? To the right?
I think it's earlier than that.
I lamped too late? Didn't wait for him to bash me into the corner to lamp?
We're gonna watch this, and then I'm gonna show you. Playing around Primal is really weird, so don't beat yourself up about it.
Let them out.
Your mistake is right here. You are fine. You are safe. This Winston wants to primal you into your spawn. Cool. This Winston, jumps here and he tries to primal you that way. You don't really go that far. Your mistake. You step forward.
Okay.
And you are in line of sight of this doorway, and then you get yourself juggled into a small area. Playing around Primal is a very difficult thing to do, just because that guy's gonna throw you anywhere he really wants to if he can hit it. But right here, suboptimal. I don't like this. You walk forward, and that puts you in a bad position. If you stayed at that wall, that's okay. When you're fighting against a Primal, you need to be very cognizant of where am I gonna, what avenues can I get booped into? And obviously, when you're fighting against Primal, you want to be in, the most open area possible. You don't want to get juggled into a room. You don't want to get, thrown into a wall a billion times. You want to be in the most open area you can. And you have just put yourself into a place where you could be in an enclosed space. And a good Winston player, I don't really think this guy is. I think this just kind of happened this way. But a good Winston player puts you into those situations on purpose. And then you need to use your movement to get out of it. You put yourself into this situation.
Got it.
Cool.
Alright, so when we get a loose to you, don't judge me too much on that.
Honestly, I don't. Because I know you don't really play the hero.
Okay.
I need healing.
Oh, this is my jam.
I need healing.
That being said, for the purposes of brain power, wow, we're really snailing this one along. For the purposes of brain power, you have swapped to Lucio. What's your job in this comp? What are you doing?
To enable Ryan.
You're speeding your front line and peeling your Ana / McCree. Cool.
I am injured.
You knew that already. I'm not just like... You know that.
I know.
Yeah.
60 seconds remaining.
Step right up.
Small thing. If your Kree is using High Noon and you have speed boost, amp him.
Okay.
He's gonna slingshot around a corner and the enemy team isn't gonna expect it. Your Widow is an idiot. And dies. But yeah, I don't really blame you too much for what happens in this fight, except for the fact that you have left your Ana alone.
Should I swing my Rhine,
Amp him in?
land like that,
Yeah.
and then peel out?
Yeah. You amp him in and then you walk away. Your Ana doesn't die here, I don't think, but like, you do lose this fight overall. Yeah, Lucio. So like, Lucio's like a really weird hero in the sense of like, he's a lot about like feel, and it's really hard to like put a hard rule on anything and say, oh, this is what you need to do. You just kind of feel it. It's actually really surprising you guys don't win this fight. Oh yeah, so playing against Primal as Lucio, because this guy has it later in this fight, is something I want to talk about. Like I said, you don't play a lot of Lucio, so I'm not trying to nitpick the Lucio stuff too hard. Like, it's not really... as far as I know, it's not super applicable to you as much as, like, you play, so...
And yeah, anything that's fun, that's fine.
Yeah, so, the way you play against, Primal as Lucio is... Your boop cooldown is 4 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
His jump cooldown when primaling is 2 seconds. Mathematically, you are not going to be able to boop him every time he jumps. But you can fuck up his jumps. When he jumps at you, instead of trying to boop him away or boop him back, you like, this guy's a tank shell, and like this guy's a fucking like a tank shell, and you're a bunker. You deflect it. He hits you, and you should be booping him off at an angle. If he jumps you here, as he's jumping before he hits the ground, you should be booping him that way. So he lands somewhere over there, and his jump is messed up. And then maybe he jumps again and you don't have it, and then he jumps again and then you throw him somewhere else. You should be deflecting him. You should be trying to put him at an angle before he hits the ground, so his jump continues the momentum and throws him to another place that isn't good for him to be in. Because you just can't stop. You can't stop him. You can't boop him away every single time, but you can mess him up really badly.
Yep.
Cool.
How did we lose this one?
I don't know, man. Sometimes it just happens. Another thing on Lucio, like I said, I'm not super anal about it, is you have your own heals. That means you can tank damage. Doesn't mean you should. You're, like, I know that you're trying to keep contesting for overtime and everything, but, like, there's other people doing it, and you don't need to be touching stuff 24/7. You don't need to, like, you can outlive a Winston damage for a while, but that doesn't mean you should. You should be, like, ducking in and out. Like, try not to face tank.
Okay.
Should be kiting, I think the phrase is. I like how you play this next round a lot. You play a lot better in this next round, and I like that. And we're gonna talk about it.
Switching sides.
You do a really good job of staying alive in some of these longer fights. You are really good at, you're pretty good about high ground. There's a couple scenarios where you're not, but you're pretty good about high, like, I like how you play on this defense. You go back to BAP, which is good. We're just gonna skip forward by 20 seconds because that's a thing we can do.
Oh, I like the setup time.
Well, sucks to suck because I can pause. It's
riveting content.
Riveting content. So, same question. What's your job in this comp? What are you doing?
Oh, keeping my front line alive.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah, you're keeping your front line alive. And
in this instance, if McCree wants to go on a flank, would that be Briggs' job to go with him?
Yep, Brig goes with him. But honestly, Brig probably just packs him and should be sticking with you. Your job is to keep your front line alive and to keep your Brig alive. If your Brig dies, everyone dies. Because if your Brig dies, you die. And if you die, everyone dies. This is like a smaller thing. I know that people in comp are really weird about you telling them to do things. Not you, I mean like anyone. Anybody.
Right, no. Generally, yes.
Yeah,
No, you're exactly right.
A stranger on the internet telling you what to do is probably not like the greatest environment. But that being said, if you think it's doable, if you like have a good relationship with this person over the course of the match, you don't think they're gonna snap, you should like ask them to stick to you mostly, and then try to save packs for your DPS so you can heal the tank line. You're gonna get ult super duper fast if you can heal the tank line. So, and you do spend a couple of times here like worrying about the DPS when you probably shouldn't have, and you can just keep your tanks up. Yeah, like I said, if that's doable, do it. But if not, don't worry about it. Just heal whoever you got to heal at the moment. Sometimes people in comp are really weird. Yeah, cool.
Do we have time to go and
But I like how you. I don't like a lot how you play on this first point, but the way you play on second is pretty good to me. Actually, you make like one mistake on this first point, which I think could have been punished pretty badly in your positioning. But
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I don't know why your Sigma's so far up.
Defend objective A.
He holds up there for a while, but
Let's get to work.
Right now, I'm just letting you know what I'm
You go.
thinking. I'm assuming they're running Widow again.
okay, yeah,
So I'm
You're
trying
good.
not to peek her.
yeah, honestly,
And if that's the case, my tank shouldn't be that far up?
they should not be that far up, but you know what? That's good habit building. Good.
Okay.
Your tank should not be that far up. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But if you know your tanks are this far up, jiggle peek this corner maybe, and try to keep your Sigma up. Because if your Sigma's here, right? Even if they're running Widow, he's probably going to be shielding the main area. And if the Widow peeks left, you don't have to duck out far enough for her to hit you.
Mhm.
So, just
Okay.
did we talked about the mental projection and how like the game keeps running when you're not looking at it?
No, but I think I know what you're saying.
Okay, that's like a thing I need to bring up at some point. It's really weird, but like you have your Sigma here. You know that he can shield stuff. Even if your tank line is this far up, you should be okay just to jiggle peek out a little bit. I don't think he dies here, if I remember. Like I think everything's okay, but just like optimizing, you know. You actually, this is another good thing you do here, which we're gonna watch again, or I guess listen to again. You hear your Brig. You hear your Brig dash out and take damage, and you hear the ball, and so you go over to make sure everything's okay. Good job. Love that. You're getting way better about this. About like listening for these audio cues and checking and make sure everything's okay. You hear the audio cue, you look, you make sure everything's okay, you keep doing other stuff. Mwah, chef's kiss. This guy is antied. Okay. Actually, we'll keep going for a sec. First of all, I just think you're too close, but we'll talk about that in a sec.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it more in a sec. So you know there are 6 people here. 5.5, really. But there are 6 people there. They can jump you from that high ground. You are in Doom slam range as we speak. If that Doomfist wanted to slam you, he could, right? If he was thinking to go hit that flank. Remember, all Doom players are idiots. He sees Roadhog, he hits Roadhog. He doesn't think about, oh, maybe his team's going to help Roadhog and let's go kill him. But you are in... Sorry, go. What's up?
Did you see someone on one of our YouTube videos take offense to that?
Oh yeah, just because it hurts you doesn't mean it isn't true, buddy. But yeah,
Sorry, commenter.
Sorry, commenter. Hope you're having a great day. But so this like you are in slam range. You are in a dangerous position right now, and then you stay here for the rest of the fight, and then you take high ground, and then you leave it again. That guy should have killed you. That Doomfist should not have dashed up to your Widow. He should probably go and kill you. You are still on low grounds. You finally go to high ground when you realize your Widow's taking damage. And then I think you guys kill this Doom. This is another, we'll go back a tiny bit, but this is another example of that. Remember, you can, like, try to do the shoot heal across your screen at some point. Like, you see that your Roadhog's pretty low, you jump up, you shoot the D.Va. You like, try to flick between these two people. Takes a minute, not easy, but try to flick between these two people. But I think that if you were on high ground for pretty much this entire fight, before this Doomfist even jumps over, they might not even have been able to get out of those doors. You just would have been pumping out damage into their team in such a way where they couldn't have done anything about it. But you lived throughout most of this fight. That's a good habit. This is good habit building. I like this. Good lamp! Good lamp!
Yeah.
Woo! Good lamp. Sorry. Like, it's just, you see someone taking damage, you see the sticky, doesn't even hit her, but still. Good lamp. That was a good reaction lamp. You hit the rally, you're, sticking near your guy. You guys live throughout this fight. This is good. Your Brig is kind of doing some shit. Oh yeah,
This is my favorite part.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, what the hell? Oh, it's the boat.
I wrote this down. In my notes it just says boat ? Dude, sometimes you get distracted and you don't remember where you are on the map. It happens.
No, that's exactly what happened.
You are here you are, finally. You should have been here the whole fight. You were here earlier to help your Widow and then you left. You should have been here the whole time. And now there's nobody else in this high ground. This is the safest place on planet Earth. And what do?
I dropped down.
You leave. This is free real estate, buddy.
What do I drop down?
I have no idea. I saw this.
I know. Play it, and
yeah.
I'll tell you. What I was
Okay.
thinking.
Let them up.
I was swearing. For my material here. Which didn't work. But that was my thought process.
Yeah. That's fine.
Also, a question about the high ground.
Go for it.
With what they're running right now, yes.
Yeah.
I'm completely feel safe on the high ground. If they're running that Widow, if they're running, damage boosted Ash, even a McCree or a Soldier, anything hit scan pretty much.
Yeah.
Or anything that's projectile even. Say they have a fur. Am I still... I'm not really that safe on the high ground, right?
So you can play on this high ground, and then you just need to know where the Widow's looking before you do something. If you know that the Widow's over on this right side, just, play here. She can't really peek you. Or, over on this left side, right? You play the right side. If the Widow's over here, just, chill here. Or just drop back here. That being said, this isn't a scenario where you would want to drop at all, but, this high ground is so good because it is very adaptable. There's those 6 people, earlier when there were 6 people in this room right here. You could have just played here, and if they wanted to push you, you would know it before it happens. But when you're on this low ground and they push you, they just push you. I think this is such a good position to play, and specifically against those hit scans. You just need to know where the thing is going to come from before it kills you. And if you don't know, don't peek. If you have no idea where their Ash is or where their Widow is, just I here and just wait to figure it out. Or ask your team. That's pretty good too. But this is ranked, so just wait until you hear a shot go off somewhere. If you don't know something, if you don't know where you're gonna take that damage from, it's okay not to do anything. It's okay just to be as safe as you can.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically against the sit scan, figure out where they are and then you can do there. Or drop if you have to, but in this scenario I don't think you should have. When you dropped and squared, I honestly think if you wanted to be an impact player, you just put the square up here and then you can one tap the Doomfist or something. You doing this drop into square was really bad, but if you stayed up here, it would have been so good. It would have been chef's kiss. Starting to do. I like how you ducked back and you were like, oh, I don't want that. But yeah, you guys just kind of lose this fight. I respect you. I think you still die. Oh no, wait. Do you live here? No. You die here. I think you guys just should have reset here. Your Sigma lives. And like this is just a city situation. But that's just like a nitpick. I think you should have reset.
Yep.
Not my time.
This is you do good for most of this, and then you fuck it up at the end.
That's pretty. That doesn't surprise me.
You do good for most of this. I was like, when's he gonna go take high ground? Then he takes high ground. I like you saw the Doomfist in your peripheral vision, and then like the synapses in your brain started firing, and they're like, "That's a Doomfist, go shoot it." And then you're like, "Oh yeah, that's a Doomfist, I go shoot it." And then he drops. This is just like when you this is like a I don't really know how to explain this. This isn't like a big teaching moment, but just like if you want to take an area, make sure that it's okay to take. I know that's like really silly, but you just kind of hop up here and then you check if there's anybody up here. It would have been okay to like do a pogo jump and like see, is there anybody on high ground? Okay, and then go. That's like a really nothing like thing to talk about. It's just like a small thing. You hear the wrecking ball shooting your McCree, and then you go and help your McCree. This is good situational awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, bad lamp.
No. Okay, lamp. Fine lamp. I think right now you've gotten to a point where I think you're understanding what to be using lamp for. It's just sometimes it's a little bit like mistimed. In the sense of or not mistimed, but like it's a poor response overall. You think they nanoed somebody who's gonna go kill your Sigma. You think they nanoed Tracer who's about to one-clip your Sigma with nano or something. So you use lamp to save him. Fine. This is fine. They nanoed the Lucio. This is the third time it happens. If you wanted to take that 10th of a second, that 5th of a second to look at the situation and say, do I need to lamp? And then yes, no, that would have been ideal. But I don't see a mistake here. I see you trying to build a good habit. I don't see a mistake.
Okay.
But this is still that same thing of slow down a little bit and assess the threat before it happens. Sometimes some people are going to have to die while you're thinking about whether or not to lamp. If they die, they die. But don't beat yourself up about this. I think just slow it down. Tried to shoot your own leg. We're not going to go on that for any further. You tried to shoot your own leg. This is good. I like where you're playing. This is good. This is fine. I think you could have squared earlier. But nitpicking. If you hit that shot, you save your Sigma. If you didn't shoot at the ground so much, you'd have better aim and you would have saved your Sigma. Stop shooting at the ground. Do you see the Doomfist out of your peripheral vision? I don't think he pushes you, but he could have. And
Get in here.
you make a. I want you to guess what your mistake is for the rest of this fight. If you remember.
Is it the? I mean, if it's not the missing the lamp here.
This is the fourth example. Slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you line
well,
up.
Well, I mean, I was late anyway.
Yeah. But yeah,
I don't remember what my main. But
so you.
I don't remember what my specific mistake was.
Okay, you got booped off of high ground. You got pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
This is fine. Your mistake is you do not retake high ground for the rest of this fight.
Okay.
You have rally armor. You are now tanky. If that diva pushes you, you are okay. The Doomfist is dead. You are still on low ground. You notice the Tracer here. Sometimes it's hard to tell in first person with hero movement, but we did that whole movement workshop. You didn't really implement it here. That's okay. That was like a weird thing. But you do better about not getting shot in 1v1s overall. That like I said, it's hard to tell people's movement in first person, but you do a better job overall.
Well, it's easier to tell with BAP though, because you can see when I'm crouching.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but I think you could.
But no, I didn't implement it there.
Yeah.
Right.
Aim better, idiot. You could have killed her the first time. You got the Tracer. Cool. Good job. Yeah, you don't retake this high ground until like the very end of the fight, and then I think next fight you drop as well. You have seen they have swapped to Ashe, or maybe not, but you hear her. How does this change how you need to play here?
More behind the little, less out in the open.
Yeah. But it's only less. It's not at all. You know, she doesn't have a damage boost, so you're not going to get one shot, but it's just good to be cognizant of, oh, well, if I take a body shot, I could get headshot. All right. Well, where would I need to duck to? But I think she swaps over to Kree later. Just it's good to be cognizant of. You did a good here. I'm gonna keep telling you when you do a good because you're doing more goods. You hear the wrecking ball, and then you go look for him. You just hear him rolling around. He's not even doing anything. He's just rolling around, and you make sure that he's not, killing 12 people in one shot. You make sure he's not about to slam you. Good job.
Get in here. Take your medicine.
Good lamp, by the way. I think it was pretty good. Would have saved your McCree if you didn't dive out, but you actually, a lot of improvement in your lamps. I really like how you use them now. Like, I think the only thing you need to do is sometimes slow down a little bit and make sure that they're going to get a lot of value. But overall, I like the way you're using them now, because you used to just kind of throw them out there and hope for the best. Okay, this Tracer has been nanoed. This is the most dangerous threat on planet Earth to you. This is a scenario where you should retake high ground.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that whole wife joke again because it was kind of long-winded, but your wife misses you. I see you trying to do the shoot rhythm here. That's good. But I think if you spent most of this fight on high ground, it would have been so good for you. It would have been so good. It would have been so good if you just stayed on that high ground. You got your square up. You killed that Ana. You could have probably killed more people. It could have been great. You played that fight, You played it fine, I guess, but it could have been great. And that's this kind of thing of your enemy. We brought it up at the beginning when I was giving you an unrealistic way to win a team fight, but the enemy team was giving you the option of taking high ground there, and you did not take it. That door was open to you, and then you just did not walk through it. And I think you could have done a lot if you do those things. If you take high grounds when it's okay to do so, and then you do stuff with that. If you see a scenario where you're able to hit a pogo jump and clock somebody who's low because your teammate called out that somebody's low, that kind of thing. I like working with you because I see a lot of improvements across the board, but sometimes I have to just say shit like, you have to hit crazy shots, and that feels weird to me because I don't believe in that attitude, but you should still be able to hit those shots in the first place. If that's what you're trying to if you want to win every game, you gotta hit every shot. You want to be Kevster? Aim like Kevster.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are my min. That was a lot more nitpicky. That was more timeline oriented. I think that was somewhat helpful. But what are you taking out of here today?
I didn't feel like it was very nitpicky.
Well, we want.
It's not really nitpicking when you're pointing out, here's what you were doing wrong, here's what you should be doing. That's exactly what I need.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Is it true?
That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. Okay. Yeah. What are you taking out of here today?
I mean, a lot of the nitpicking stuff is the stuff that I don't see. And so when you point them out to me, it makes it obvious. And I'm okay. Yeah, okay. That's things I will need to fix. Apparently, okay, not apparently. I'm going to keep working on hitting direct targets with my heals. I'm going to hope for next VOD. I'm hitting them in the head and not the chest.
True.
Kind of overcorrect there. No, I'm kidding. A lot more positioning. Being on high ground. Especially when the enemy team lets me take it. Knowing more escape routes for when I'm getting primaled, when I'm getting pushed by anybody, know my way out, especially towards health packs.
Good.
And those are big things that were pointed out to me in this VOD.
Good. Can I add on one more thing?
Yes.
Just a reminder of slow down your lamps. I like the way you're using them, but take that 1/10 of a second to assess the situation before you use it. I know. Sorry, go.
I'm just wondering out loud.
Go for it.
If I keep doing what I'm doing, well, like what you saw in those VODs, would that come naturally? Where I start, the more I do it, the more I see it, the more slow I can get, or be more purposeful in seeing if the pulse sticks before.
Well, when it comes to pulses, I actually think, yeah, just go for it. Just throw them out there because you don't have time to react to it.
Okay.
But just from an overall point of view, I'm in the opinion that if you learn to do something purposefully, you will be able to do it without thinking about it. But if you keep doing it without thinking about it, even if it's okay, that might get you into bad habits in the future. That might mess you up in the future. That's how I like to look at it. I'm in the belief that I think you should try to be a little more purposeful with your lamps overall, maybe take a little more time with them overall, and it will get really, really good, because right now it's getting better, but I still... And theoretically, you could keep doing things the way that you're doing and it get better. I don't know. You don't really know. This is, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say, this will or will not work, but I'm in the belief that if you learn to do something purposefully, you'll be able to do it effectively in pretty much any situation, as opposed to getting into a bad habit, potentially.